Us, us. Konbanwa, genki desu ka? Hope you are genki desu. Hope you are well and fine on this Tuesday evening, and looking forward to tonight's lesson. Hopefully, one of our very last few lessons online. Fingers crossed, all being well, all looking good so far. But we said that last time, so I'm not going to say this is the last lesson online at all, because it definitely won't be. So just a very quick update before I say hello to a few people. We'll do warm up and then we get the lesson going. And that is that the plan at the moment is that we commence on the 12th, so next week we are planning to open for juniors at least on 2 evenings. So at the moment we've got confirmed Tuesday the 13th, we've got Clifton Dojo opening 5 till 6, and in Sandy, the new Village Hall Dojo on Thursday 7 till 8. This is just for juniors at the moment. I've been told, unfortunately, we can't have the Sandy Dojo, our Hombu, back until at least September. I have no idea what's going on there, but they clearly are in no hurry to have us back, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But anyone can find out. I'd be really interested to see if anyone else is able to use it, but at the moment it's a big no. So we'll just have to wait for Stevenage Leisure to get back to us about that. The Potton Dojo is hopefully going to be open soon, and may even well be next week, and the Gaming Dojo will almost certainly be next week, but I just need to confirm the times and the dojos. If I could ask from everybody that is thinking of coming back to training, juniors that is, I need you to let me know which classes you're coming to. And you can change your mind, that's fine. I just need to know who's coming or who to expect at each of the dojos. At the moment, we're still not allowed adults in the dojos, so it will still be juniors being dropped off and then being picked up at the end. I'm sorry that I know that's a pain, but that's still very much in line with the government advice. Adults, I'm sorry, you can't train until the 17th of May, obviously, which is still some time away, but we will continue online. I'm not sure what evenings or how I'm going to do it, but we will continue the lessons as much as possible, and we'll work out something for that to happen, so that you don't miss out as well. So I suspect that I'm going to be busy over the next few weeks and months coming upwards. So while we do a mixture of real live lessons and online lessons as well. If you know anyone new who wants to start karate, then obviously now's probably a good time to start, because a lot of people have had a year off from training properly, that is, and regularly, other than online, or maybe coming back to the dojo for that short time we had in between August and October. So if you know anybody that's keen or interested in having a go, or maybe took part in the online lessons and fancies doing the thing for real, then that'd be really good if they could let us know and come along. So we are certainly having some beginners starting with us, which would be good, because we always need new people doing karate, because we always have people that don't continue with it, which is always for me such a shame. But as somebody who's practiced it for over 30 years, but it is what it is, and that is karate. My view on it is, if you do it as part of your life, you will definitely always benefit from it, regardless of how long you study it. So that's the plan coming up. The black belt sessions will continue on Saturday mornings at the moment at 10 a.m, 10 till 11:30ish we usually finish. So they will continue as well, and I'll just keep you updated as much as I can, primarily on our Facebook page, on our website, which I'm going to update after I finish this lesson, and then also the YouTube channel as much as we can. So hopefully it gives you an idea of where we're at. It's all looking quite positive at the moment, so we'll just keep our fingers crossed that things keep going well and that we can get back to our dojos. As I say, there won't be our normal dojos that we remember of old, but then nothing's normal anymore, is it? Let's be honest. So Sandy will move to the Village Hall, which is right next to the old dojo. So that's quite handy. So getting lost shouldn't be a problem. The Gamage Dojo, we've been there pretty much well established at the Eco Hub for some time now, so everyone knows what that is. The Potton Dojo will be back at the school. The school are keen to have us back, but we just got to confirm what date, and Clifton, we are definitely back at the school. So all looking quite positive. Okay, and then I need to wish Sensei Andy a very, very happy birthday. Sensei Andy is just 4 days younger than me. So I celebrated my 51st birthday last Friday, and he is celebrating his 51st birthday today. So, us. Happy birthday, Andy, and I hope you're having a good day. I hope you don't come and train in this evening because you should be sitting down and relaxing, or maybe you can watch with a beer in your hand. That's okay, and a bit of cake, a slice of cake as well would be good for you. So tonight's lesson, I was going to continue with Kihon Kumite, but to be perfectly honest, we did a whole week on it, and I think I'm now going to do a little bit of everything. So tonight's lesson will be a mix of Kihon Kata Kumite, bit of everything. Okay. I'm absolutely shattered. I'm not going to lie to you. I've had a busy day, and I've done a bike ride. I've done my weights and worked out. I've been in the loft trying to repair our roof lining, and I'm broken, shattered, just tired. So if I feel a little lethargic, now you know the reason why. Oh, and I'm 51, obviously, because it was my birthday last week. So there you go. Anyway, hope everybody had a good Easter. Have you got many eggs left? I've got loads. Didn't think I was going to get many, and I've got loads, so it's quite a good thing. So this is okay. This will get a little bit warmer and a little bit fuller, certainly after this lesson as well. Okay, great. Let's say hello to a few people. Good evening, Ken Sensei. Hope you are well. Who else have we got there? Andy Sensei, got Kevin, Lucy and Paul. Good evening, and Kayla. Hope you're well, Kayla. Tim, hope you're well, and all the Huxtable clan are good. Okay, excellent stuff. Right, so we'll get to today's lesson going, and we'll see where we go. Okay, right. Okay, just warm up, just some star jumps. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, sich, hach, ko, jo, juch, juni, san, jushi, jugo, jurok, jusich, juhach, juko, niju, nijuch, nijuni, nijisan, nijishi, nijigo, nijok, nijisich, nijihach, nijuko, sanju, sanjuich, sanjuni, sanjusan, sanjushi, sanjugo, sanjurok, sanjusich, sanjuhach, sanjuko, shiju, shijuich, shijuni, shijusan, shijushi, shijugo, shijurok, shijich, shijuhach, shijuko, gojo, and relax. Gojuich, 51. There you go. That's me and Andy Sensei. Hips round. And the other way. Okay, so just wangling your ubis, your fingers, and then tekubi, your wrists, and then hijiate, your elbows, relaxing all the joints, kata, your shoulders. Okay, just relaxing. Okay, very good. Okay, arms back. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, and forwards. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Left arm forwards, right arm back. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. And change. Left arm forwards, right arm back. Sorry, right arm forwards, left arm back. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Excellent. Okay, arm stretching. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, sich, hach, go, jo. Excellent stuff, excellent. Okay, take your right arm across and stretch in, and pulling down. Left arm across, stretch in, and pulling down. Okay, shoulder blades together, squeeze and relax. And again, and relax. Okay, stretching the neck now. So head down 45 degrees to your left chest. And back up to neutral, and then down to the right side. And back up to neutral. Down to the left side. And neutral, and back down to the right side. Good. Shoulders down, neck up, head up. Okay, you can feel this stretching, okay, as you open the vertebrae out. So you essentially try to lift your head, okay, pull your shoulders down, stretches your neck. Okay, hips round. As I say, we're not going to work too much on the warm-up this evening because we just need to get going. And doing karate. Okay, Haisu Kidachi, feet together stance. Okay, and just flicking the foot out, kicking Maigeri Tanobi on the spot. Ish. はい、2、3、4、5、6、7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, a little bit of balance there. Okay, a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. Shaking the legs. Very good. 8, right. Okay, Kyosuke, straight gi and obi, please. Okay, standing bow. Kyosuke. Show me, ready? Sensei, ready? Hey, Okay, ayoi. Okay, so Shizentai, natural stance. Natural stance, Hachidachi. Okay, so this is open leg stance, Hachidachi. There are a number of Shizentai stances. Okay, and we're going to just look at a couple of them this evening as part of what we're doing. Okay, so from this position here, left arm out, right arm in, Chokozuki position. So I'm just going to come a little bit close to the screen. So make sure from this position here, because we're in natural stance, you don't see that anymore. You see my elbow, okay? If you can see my elbow, then I'm not doing this correctly. So we don't want to move the shoulders really. We want to relax the shoulders and move the elbow around. Okay, so again on the other side here. So you're just not moving the shoulders so much, but more relaxing the elbow. So you want to be able to bring your shoulders really back. Okay, like so. I should suck my tummy when I do this, but there you go. Okay. Now there's either blossom dropping out of a tree outside or it's snowing, and I can't tell which at the moment. Yeah, it's snowing. How bizarre. Okay, the sun's still shining through, but there's definitely snow in my garden. Okay, so relax. Ich. Okay, so squeeze at the back here when you reach back. Ni, san, shi, go, rok, sich, hach, ko, hai, ju. Okay. Squeeze here. Yeah, and these are connected. Pull, push, pull, push, pull, push, pull, push, pull, push. These are connected. So both your hands, same weight, same speed, same power, same everything. Okay, except one is pushing and one is pulling. Okay, and they're connected by your jiku. Okay, your access point here. So if we think of the axis point, okay, our hips rotate. If we think of, say, a pencil, okay, and we have a little bit of paper, we spin on the axis point, and this is our hips. We want to try and use our hips in karate as much as possible without using your shoulders and your legs as much, okay? So within this technique here, we're going to learn how to punch chokozuki, okay, but with a hip. So as my right hand comes out here, so as I connect, hip, hip, hip. Now when my sensei first taught me this, I did not get it. When my sensei taught me this for the 20th time, I did not get it. And when he taught it for me about after 15 years, I still didn't get it. But I eventually did. Okay, and I think it's probably after around 18 years that I started to understand what I was doing with my hips. So if you can't do this, please don't think it's you being bad. It is not. As I say, for me, I struggled with this for years. But now I've got this connection where I can learn, I've taught myself how to disconnect and connect parts of my body. I can use my hip. Now, higher grade, some of you are almost certainly going to be better than this than me, okay, because you've learned how to do it sooner. So for me, it was very late on in my karate, okay, more than half of my time doing karate before I was able to really get this to work and not use these so much. So for me, I talk about these a lot now because they were the nemesis of my karate, okay. I used to rotate forwards, definitely, because I'm 6'1" and quite tall. I used to stoop quite a bit. okay, and very rounded shoulders. What I've learned over the years is that's given me nothing more than a bad back. So now I try to relax my shoulders and bring them back more, so I stand taller. But my confidence has enabled me to do that as well. So it's not just about understanding the body, it's here as well. So when I was younger, head down, slouchy, try not to look people in the eye, try not to cause any problems, upset anyone by not doing the right thing. Apparently I look moody normally, okay? So if I'm not smiling, then I look moody. I got told that by somebody once, a best friend actually, and that hurt me quite a lot, but actually made me realise that maybe I needed to sort that out. So started karate, stood taller, smiley, but it took years, didn't take 10 seconds. So all of these things, you know, there's lots of connections in karate, and just focus on one at a time. Don't get too bogged down by them all when senseis like myself talk about these things. Okay, what we're trying to do is give you as much information as possible, but you take out the bits that you need to get to work for you, if that makes sense. Okay, so from this position here then, okay, as you punch, you sort of snap the hip back. You snap the hip back. You snap the hip back. Now, I think it's easier done fast than it is slow. Okay, so we're going to do 10 punches with the hip. If you can't do the hip, that's not a problem. Just do 10 punches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey, yamei. Hey, yo. So you can see the position I'm in hachidachi. So the feet are not parallel, but they are side by side. Okay, and we tend to use the shizentai stances for informal aspects of karate, but they are used within kata. So definitely within kata, we do this technique here that we've just done, and then change to motodachi, which is not shizentai, it's twisted stance in batai dai. So we do this punch. Yeah, in hachidachi. So shizentai stances aren't just for an informal part of karate. When we yoi, we are in shizentai hachidachi. So the other shizentai stances we've already practiced one this evening by doing the maegeris. Okay, so this is hai sukudachi. So hai sukudachi, feet together stance, is used in a lot of kata, okay, and is used in our Kihon as well, our basics. You don't use it in kumite, as in because you're moving backwards and forwards or sideways and diagonally, etc. So not a stance that's used outside of Kihon and kata, as it were. Another one that we use, a shizentai stance, is hachidachi. Now, don't get this confused with with hachidachi. Hachidachi, the feet are out, okay, naturally. Haikadachi is the feet are parallel, so they're facing forward as if they're on train tracks. Okay, so they are in a different position. And then there's even a stance where we turn feet inverted, and it's called uchi hachidachi. Okay, and we don't use this one a huge amount, to be perfectly honest, within karate. But again, it's important to know all of these things because they're part of karate's history, particularly Shotokan. Okay, so hai sukudachi, masubudachi, just for bowing, haikadachi, uchi hachidachi, hachidachi. So all of those come under the group of called shizentai. Shizentai. Okay. Good. Okay, right. Os. Okay, let's do one of our more natural stances. So step forward, Gidan Barai Kamae. Okay, so we're going to do Gyakuzuki. So what I want you to do first of all is line your feet so they're parallel. Okay, now when I first started karate, my stance was very long. Yeah, and very low, as it should be, because we should have long and low stances when we start. But my back foot was like so. Okay, so my back foot was turned out. Not 90 degrees, nothing that bad, but it was definitely turned out more. Okay, so my front foot is going straight. I'm sorry about the 0.5 angle, doesn't quite show this, but I'm going straight with my arm there. Okay, and the back foot here is pointing there. So it's going out towards the field, actually. Okay, and the problem with there is that I disconnect my hips. My hip, I can't use my hip now, okay, because the foot is in the wrong position. So if I do it this angle, okay, same thing. My foot is now traveling in this direction straight, and my other foot is coming actually 45 degrees towards the corner of the camera angle. And I can't use my hip. So what we've got to do is we've got to change this, okay? Because this will help you use your hips. So you turn the right foot so that the foot is facing the direction of travel. So this right foot now, my back leg, is now facing straight, and so is my front foot. Okay, now, you can see that my hip, yeah, is really, really working now. So again, if I change to this angle, yeah, it's not quite the same, I know, with the fish lens, but they are both parallel, trust me. I'm looking at them. I can now use my hip, which I couldn't before. And so, of course, when you're punching Gyakuzuki like this, and you're trying to use your hip, because Sensei says you have to use your hips, and for years and years and years, and I think it was at second dan I needed quick karate because I was in so much pain with this area around my hips and groin, okay, where I was basically trying to force my pelvis apart by not moving my hip. So again, this took time. This took time to learn, okay, to be able to do it. Now you should be able to have very little movement in the front knee, a little bit, but not much, and then just the hip, not too much movement in the shoulders. So if we get to the Gyakuzuki position, okay, so left arm is pointing straight forwards, and you want to keep the hand on the hip. You don't want to fire the hand so it comes away from the body, because you lose this. It's disconnected now. Okay, the punch may still be delivered strong and correct, however, you've disconnected it. So you've wasted the hip. You've wasted the hip, and the hip is what drives the punch through, makes it stronger. However, if you connect the hand to the hip and you keep it on there as long as you possibly can, so here, drive it through now. So then the hip is pushed, sorry, the fist is pushed from the hip. Okay, it's a really bad analogy because I don't like talking about guns, but if you think of a gun, okay, and you think of the bullet in the barrel, okay, and the hammer. Yeah, a lot of people, you often ask people, certainly with juniors, what fires the bullet out of the gun? They say the trigger. Now the trigger pulls the hammer back, okay, and then the hammer, bang, hammer fires the bullet through the barrel of the gun. And that's literally what your hip is doing. So if you imagine that your fist is a bullet, okay, and you can make big comparisons with these two, although a bullet may be smaller and much faster, a karate punch is also small and very fast. So maybe not as fast as a bullet, but certainly got some speed behind it if you connect it with a hip. If you disconnect it, hip too fast, hip too slow. No hip. Too much hip. You will see, okay, you will feel the difference between those techniques. So for me, using that hip to push through. So the hip starts back here, and then it fires that Gyakuzuki through. So I'll show it from this angle. Okay, so here, the hammer is back here. The hammer is back, and the bullet is in the barrel of the gun. Yeah, but they must be connected. They can't come too soon. Can't come apart too soon. So this drives through. So we must connect these two. I'll change the sides. So here. Yeah, so as I slow this down, assume I don't have slow-mo on the camera now. Yeah. If you were my competitor now, we were competing, you'd see my elbow. So you'd know a Gyakuzuki's coming. You'd see my shoulder move, so you'd know that a punch is coming. You want to keep the giveaways as little as possible. So it's important to get your stance so it feels natural, so you're able to use the hip, okay, and drive the punch through. And keep it close to the body. As I said, these are connected, one pulling, one pushing, always, okay? Not just with punches, but with kicks the same, yeah? As one kick draws back, the other one kicks. They were connected by that feeling of pull and push. Hikite. Hikite, H-I-K-E-T-E is the way that we translate it in English. And essentially it means pulling and pushing. Okay, if you think of a pulley system, okay, where you've got two wheels, and then you want to maybe pull a flag to the top. If you pull with one arm, it's going to take you a while. But if you pull with one and feed, it doesn't take long. I learned that very quickly at Cub Scouts. Okay, because I used to be a sixer, and then that was basically the person that did the flag and everything at the beginning. And I worked out very quickly 2 good pull and pushes, and the flag was at the top. Or forever and a day pulling down, which is not the same, not as good. Us, good evening, Andy Sensei. The birthday boy has joined us. So happy to see you. Us, well, virtually, obviously. Happy birthday, Andy-san. Us, hope you are feeling as old as I am today, and I am feeling super old. Okay, so this is really important part of karate. Okay, if you can understand this connection point here, and I think just in this basic technique, Yakuzuki, then you can understand more about your body and therefore make the other techniques work better for you. So back we go to get under right position. Okay, hand on hip and keep connected. So drive this through together. Okay, so each, hey, and come back connected. Each. Each. You see how they're connected. Each. Each. Finish. Together. Not finish. Yeah, not finish. They have to be connected for this to work at its optimum best point, whatever I know what I'm saying really. To be as efficient and as effective as possible, they have to be together. Okay, so you've got to be quite specific about this and how you do it. So, together. Okay, relax your shoulders, relax your hips so you're able to fire the fist home. Okay, ready? Ish, hey back, knee, and back. Son, she, hey go, hey jump stance. Okay, so now look down your stance for a short period of time, get comfortable. More importantly, check that back foot. Can you use your hip? Okay. So, once you're comfortable, okay, now if you're not left-handed, this may feel a bit odd. I am, so it's not so good, not so bad for me. Make sure you're able again to connect. Don't let this arm come out. Connect. Yeah. Minimal movement here. This is what you'll do to start with. I definitely remember doing that. Not so great for your knee. But if you let your knee naturally flex over the big toe, as if you were walking, okay, and your back foot is no different. So as if you're stepping forwards, okay. That natural position you're in enables the body to work better. One of the most interesting lessons we had in Japan in 2016 when we did our tour with Akita Sensei was we went to the JKF, which is the Japanese Karate Federation headquarters. And we trained there with some really great sensei, and Kokuban Sensei and Abi Senseis. There's two of Abi Senseis. And they taught us in the JKF headquarters, which is going to be, I think, one of the venues for the Tokyo Olympics, or certainly where all the athletes will be at least training. I think they're probably going to do the events at the Budokan, which is a really marvellous and fantastic hall that I've been to when I've been there in the past. And the JKF headquarters are nothing like the other headquarters of the other dojos. They're enormous and they cover a number of floors. And I remember the dojo just being really blue and white, so white mats and blue mats everywhere, and it was huge. And Abi Sensei in particular spent a lot of time just teaching us how to walk around the dojo normally. And you might think, well, that's ridiculous. Why do I need to know that? And I thought exactly the same. Now, I was in a lot of pain on that session. It was our second or third session since we've been training there. I was still suffering with a very bad knee from surgeries and stuff. And I was in significant pain. And actually, after that lesson, I felt 100 times better because she had me just moving around naturally and not forcing my knees into places where they shouldn't be and where they were ultimately going to be painful. So when we're using our body's natural ability, it's just paying attention to detail how the biomechanics of the body works. And so it was really, really quite good. So make sure here you're comfortable more than anything else, okay? Then you can punch. Okay, so ready? Left hand, Gyakuzuki 5 times. Ich, keep it tight to the body. Ni, son, shi, go, here. Hey, yeah. Okay. I do this with the juniors, by the way. I look like Captain Jack, apparently. So from here, this is a good way of showing the hip. So the hip is now connected to the knot of my obi. This is my kuru obi, my black belt. Okay, and now you'll be able to see the hip and how much it can actually move whilst we're doing this same technique. So again, natural, feel comfortable, get yourself sorted before you start to exert yourself. Because if you start punching your feet in the wrong angles and you're trying to use your hips, you're just going to cause yourself pain, as I did many, many years ago. So comfortable. Okay, remember the same rules apply. Look straight ahead, focus on your target, and keep your line, your embusen, and your techniques together. No elbows away from the body. Okay, so watch the belt. Ich, ni, san, shi, wo, ro, sich, haj, ko, hai, ju, ich, ni. Okay, so we change sides. Has anyone else's belt shrunk in the coronavirus pandemic, or certainly in the last few days after Easter? I believe mine has. Okay, so again, comfortable position. This is sitting right on top of my hip bone. Okay, so you can see truly how my hip moves. So again, comfortable position. Get that line. Now I'm very fortunate, I'm not going to lie, looking out the window here to the field, okay, I have got a beautiful reflection of myself, apart from my face, which is even better because I don't need to see that. But what I can see is my body now and the way it moves. So when you get to practice in the dojo with a mirror, okay, or even somebody videos you, you can really see how things are going. So I can see my feet are parallel, and I can see my belt on my hip here. And as I draw my hip back, the belt knot disappears, and it's disappeared now, as is my fist. Okay, so we join them together. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ro, sich, hach, ko, hai, ju, and actually what I could see there was myself, yeah, but not till it was too late. So I couldn't see the fist until it was too late, which is good. So it means what I'm talking about makes sense and is working. More importantly. So this part of your body is super, super important to karate, and if you're struggling with it, please do not worry. I did not learn how to use my hips properly in karate till I was on my journey to Sandan, my third dan. Yeah, I think I had sort of a moment a couple of years after I passed my second dan, okay, and I was still recovering from a very bad fracture, broken leg, double tib and fib jobby, which stopped me from doing my second dan grading for a year and stopped me doing, well, it didn't stop me doing karate because I did it on crutches for a whole year because I had metal rods and stuff, so I could still continue whilst it being pain. But what I did was work out why different parts of my body were hurting and how could I take the pressure off that while I was learning how to use my hips. But the simple thing is your body position. So go back to the beginning of the lesson, wrong body position, wrong technique. Okay, so that brings me on to if we did kicks or blocks, makes no difference. Okay, if your body's in the wrong position, it's going to hurt. So one of the most challenging kicks to do is more shigeri, and quite a lot of people will really get hurt and pain in the same sort of area, and it's ultimately because they're not rotating correctly. Okay, they're sort of doing a maigeri and trying to flip their hip in afterwards. Now, we used to compete, when I used to compete years ago, we used to do a technique called mai mawashi, which essentially was a maigeri, and then you'd flick your hip at the end and you bring it around like a washigeri to catch your opponent out. Now, when you're young and live and sprightly and full of energy and stuff, that's really quite easy, and you're quite flexible already within your bones at that point. But if you slow down and get older, that's not so easy. Okay, and it's not a true technique. Moshigeri, the hip, okay, comes right up the side here. Okay, and you have to then pivot and balance everything around together whilst keeping the knee up. If you let the knee drop, then you straight away put pressure on the hip and you start to hurt this area. So it's important that if you get your knee this high, then your kick stays that high, yeah? When you bring the foot round, and you don't overdo it. So it's better, again, to get yourself in a natural position. Gidambarai maybe, okay, or here, it makes no difference, okay? But if you try with your hip back and more shigeri, you can feel the hip travel. You can feel it traveling, okay, before you kick. Mustn't make sure I don't kick that. So from this position, okay, bring your knee up. Whoa, are you balanced? Is it wobbling? Why is it wobbling? This bit. Yeah. More balance. Okay, so you've got your knee up. Rotate round. Yeah. And then back down. And it's difficult to do slow speed. And it's difficult to do on this floor full stop because it doesn't move. I stick. So, think about that action here. And the kick just comes round. And I'm feeling the hip drive the kick home. Yeah, the hip is driving the kick home. If I do my more shigiri, yeah, the hip's not used really much at all. So for me, I don't like it as a technique now. I used to do it as a youngster, but not now. So make sure you bring the knee here and stay not upright here. Stay down on this leg. Yeah, stay down on this leg. Then you can bring the foot round. Keep it horizontal as opposed to creeping upwards. Come round. Yeah. So that's another one that just, I think, is again part of the hip problem. So I'm not going to dwell on this a whole night, but just think about your hips. Just think about your hips in your karate. Okay, so just two techniques there. Gyakuzuki and quick momo shigiri, okay, just talking about the hips, etc. Okay, so let's do kata now. So we're going to do the kata here nidan, okay, because it's one of my favorites, and you may not have done it for some time. Plus there's also a reasonable amount of hip. So I've got enough room to do it in my dojo just if I sort of double step. If I do that, I'll tell you, okay, and I'll do it facing you and then I'll do it facing away so that you can always look at this back. So first of all, Kyosuke, ready, os, hey, yoi, and say the kata hiya nidan. So our first move, yeah, it connected. As I look, my hands are coming here. Okay, but they don't stay there. As my foot would normally slide out, and tonight it's going to step because I can't slide on this floor, excuse me. Yeah, together. I don't need to bring my shoulders up to do this. So I need to keep my shoulders down where they are. So normally I would slide, literally not sliding at all, here, and then the arms come up together. Okay, so like so. But tonight I'm going to have to step. So, right, os, hey, yoi, hiya nidan. Yeah, make sure you look before you move. Each. Okay, this shoulder is down. The arm is up, but the shoulder is definitely down, I promise you. This shoulder, arm is up, the shoulder is down. Okay, good box section here. And here, Arazuki, close punch or uppercut punch, okay? And this is oizuki. Okay, so step in punch as we do normally, but obviously not stepping. And we're in Kukutsudachi back stance. Okay, now, once more, check this position. Okay, so this is better than before. Before, definitely I felt I was here. Now, here, not correct. This is better. Okay, it should be natural position here. So what I did was essentially go too far out. When we practice karate to begin with, we have to have low stances to build the power up in the legs, okay? But we're much slower. So we are able to do these really low and ridiculously long stances correctly. Okay, but when we speed up, we definitely shorten these stances. This doesn't look good on the camera, by the way. Again, I assure you this is dead right, but 0.5 doesn't show that. Okay, makes me look like I'm pulling myself, I think. So this is better for me to move shorter and faster, yeah, as opposed to here. Weight distribution is still the same. So it's 70%, 30% on the legs, okay, but the hips are dropped down in the middle. So make sure you don't go too far so that you're not in back stance. Okay, so us, here, nidan. So ich, ni, san. Now transfer the weight from this leg across to here. Yeah, and as you do, this foot turns around and you're now in Kukutsadachi the other way. Okay, so foot back, here. Okay, transfer the weight here, block, here, and strike. Remember this bit here? Get this away. Yep. Not hip this way, hip here. Okay. Connect. Draw the hip back. Connect. It's really important to make these connections. It's from the basic technique that we did here, making this connection, yeah, to this combination that we use within the kata. So make sure you're linked, okay, in your mind and your body. Os. Here, nidan. Ich. Ni. Okay, so next move then, we're coming up for the back leg to a transitional position here. Now my feet are parallel, so they're parallel, but I'm not in any stance, okay? So I'm just transferring the back leg, 70-30 here, midway, so I'm in this position here. And this is just a transitional position. It's not a stance, and it's not specifically called anything. But from here, my hands come to koshi kamai. Koshi kamai means the hip position. Koshi or koshi is the hip. So hand on the hip, and kamai means position, literally. So showing that close up, this is what it looks like. Now, being English, we always teach our students the traditional cup of tea. This is my saucer, this will be my cup, and I will drink my tea like so. Oh, sorry, little finger. Okay, so this is important, okay, particularly for juniors, because quite often we see people get this the wrong way around, and it doesn't work the other way around, I promise you. So whenever you do koshi kamai, pretty much in every Shotokan karate kata, when you're doing it, if it's on your left side, you'll be looking to your right. And if it's on your right side, you'll be looking to your left. Okay, and again, when you do it, hand on the hip naturally, yeah, move this, drop this, just drop it on top. Okay, so this position here, Kokutsadachi, come up, koshi kamai. Okay, so both feet are parallel now. Now what I'm going to do is sit down on the back leg, okay, a little bit more, and take the front leg up. Okay, so I'm in this position here. Now this leg is pointing in this direction here, so to the back of the dojo, and I'm going to do Yurakan back fist kiyagi. Okay, so it's a back fist and a side snap kick. So from this position here, yeah, Yurakan, kiyagi, and then I turn, shutoki facing the front of the dojo, pointing towards the camera. Okay, so if I do it at a different angle, you'll see hopefully the kick go this way. So koshi kamai, looking behind, okay? So this is from this position here, step up, position, kick, and shuto here, okay? So hopefully that makes sense within the kata. So it's behind you. The back fist and the kiyagi, connected. Yeah, so don't kick and then back fist. Try to do both together. Try to do both together. So from this position here, and then land together. So again, making that connection with the kick and hit. So the mindset that I have when I ever do this one is this is a block. So somebody's punching me. Okay, so they're coming over the top of the punch, and rather than doing an agyuki, I'm going to use a back fist. Okay, because it's just an effective block. Punches can be blocks. Okay, and then here I'm kicking them and stopping them as they come closer because the leg is longer than the arm. Yeah, that's proof, isn't it? So make sure you connect the two together. So looking, position, connection, and there. For me, it doesn't matter how good a kick you are or how good a punch you are. What matters is you understanding that they need to be connected. Okay, and you can build on your technique later on. That's really important to think. Okay, when we first learn kata, learn the basic moves so you can walk through them and do that at home. Whether you do them in your bedroom or your kitchen or your garden, you can run through the moves. The basic moves are there in your head. You've got the pattern, as it were. Okay, or the routine, whatever way you want to look at it. And then for years afterwards, you then start to work out the individual techniques. And for me, because I like training with lots of different people and I train all over the world, you find different things for different people and you just take the bits that work for you and you do it your way. Okay, so that's really, really important. So let's go back to the beginning. Hianidan, looking, connected, connected. Change that body weight. Okay, come up, rack and kyagi, take shutoki. So now, simple shutoki, but keep tight and true to the body. Now this looks like I'm going 45. I'm coming straight towards the camera, I promise you. But this is just the angle of the 0.5 lens. From here, 90 degrees, yeah, protecting this area here. Oseoki, Shihon Nugate, 4-finger spear hand. Yeah. Okay, and that's into the solar plexus or the stomach area. Okay, in reality, you'd be to the throat, but we're not doing that. So I'm going to shuffle back. Okay, from this bit here, turning, keeping the body tight. Shutoki. Shutoki. So now, again, keep it tight to the body. Don't bring the shoulders up. Okay, shutoki. And as you do this, you bring your hip back. As the arm goes out, you bring the hip back. So you can see this hip here. Here. Come round. Shutoki. And move forwards. Shutoki. Okay, looking to the back of the dojo now. The front foot moves across into front stance and the right arm tucks underneath and just does an inside block. Like so. So you see how concise I am here, how tight I am. Notice this inside block right arm. Okay, so you have to listen whilst I do this. I'm going to kick with my right leg to the stomach and then punch with my left hand as I kick. Okay, then on my left arm, I block on the spot. Okay, just going to shuffle back. Kick with the left foot and punch with the right hand. And then augmented block. Again, almost from the hips together here. So I just show you that little combination from facing the other angle. So the 4 shooters I think are quite easy for people. So once you've got to the spear hand, you just do the 4 shutos. Okay, not going to dwell on those too much tonight because of the time we've got left. But the next bit I think is really interesting. So we're in this lovely, beautiful Kukutsudachi back stance. Okay, and now we're going to come to the back of the dojo, which is you. Okay, so again here, Zen-Kutsudachi, front stance. Okay, nice and comfortable. My feet feel good. I don't need to change them at the moment. Okay, my hips are shonen, facing towards you, and I've just done an inside block reverse, so the opposite arm to the leg. It's called gyaku. That's why my hip's in, as opposed to my hip back, hammy. So shonen for this one. Now this makes me and sets me up perfectly to drive my kick forwards and my igeri. As I kick, I bring that hip back ever such a split second to drive through my gyakuzuki, which is the reverse punch we did at the beginning of the lesson. Okay, shuffling back just for a bit of room. Then on the spot, I do another inside block. Okay, now as I do this, naturally, your front foot comes back ever so slightly as you use that hip. Okay, but then again, you're poised, ready for your maigiri here, and then driving that punch through. Okay, and then the next move is just augmented blocks. So bring this arm, keep the shoulders down, bring this arm almost to the hip, so your hip comes back, and then hip in. And this is Maroto-uki. So Maroto-uki, combination block, combined block, together block, partner block. I don't know, you could call it a million and one things. Ultimately, it means they're joined. Okay, and again, if you take the lower part of the elbow here, okay, the ulna down the bottom here, and just sit the base of the fist into that bit, you can join the two. And what you've got there is a connection from this arm and this top part of the body with the rest of the body, as opposed to one arm. One arm is definitely not as strong as two arms. So we connect these two together, and this makes for a very powerful block. And we use Morotoki a lot in kata because it is so strong. So whereas the arm may not be as strong as the leg because of sheer size, when you combine two arms, they can take on a leg. Okay, and so therefore be powerful enough to deflect or block a kick as such. So once you've done that position there, okay, so Morotoki, you're almost at the back end of the kata and ready to finish. The finish is quite simple. So from here, Morotoki, the back leg comes round and we're turning Gidanburai, downward block. Simple, downward block. Of course, hips at hand, remember, not showing anymore. Just hit the Easter tree and nothing fell off, that's good. Okay, so here, Agiyuki. So bring this arm 90 degrees. Keep this closer, don't point it out there. So keep it here, come through Agiyuki. Okay, look behind you now. Turn Gidanburai. 0.45 degrees. Agiyuki Kiai. Hey, Yamei. Amei. Horse. Hey, Yoi. Okay, so what we'll do the kata slowly all the way through, facing the camera, and then we'll do it reverse, facing away from the camera. If I double shuffle, I tell you what I will do, and then you'll be able to understand that when we do the kata, or you do the kata on your own. Okay, Kyosuke. Amei, os. Hey, yoi. And say the kata, hiyan, nidan. Okay, so double block. Moroto, haiwanaki, ich, ni, san. Change, shift that hip, ich, ni, san. Okay, half step up, ish, kicking behind, ni, san. Shutoki, 8 shutoki forwards, ich. And shuffling again, ni. Osayuki, pressing block, shonogute, hya, kiai. So now shuffling back for room. Okay, turning, keep the hands low, tight. Shutoki, knife hand block to the side of the dojo. Yeah. 45 degrees. Shutoki. Side of the dojo. Shutoki. 45 degrees. Shuffling back again to create some room. Left leg across, just front start, Zen Kutsadachi. Right arm inside block, Yaku. Kick, front leg Maigeri. Sorry, back leg Maigeri. Punch, Yakuzuki. Left arm block, shorten stance slightly, kick and punch. Shuffling back, augmented block. Back leg round. Downward block, hand me. Upper rising block. Agiyuki, hand me. Turn, Gidanburai. Hand me. Agiyuki, kiai, and finish. Hips at hand me. And yamei. And ready. Os. Hey, yoi. So this kata has an awful lot of hip, which is really good because it connects with the beginning part of the lesson, which was about our stances and our hips. Okay, so facing the other way. Os. Hey, yoi. Hiyan, yan. Looking, remember, as we move. Ish. Nisan. Ich. Nisan. Ish. Nisan. Ich. Shuffle back. Ni. San. Ila. Ish. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Roll. Siege. Hutch. Go. Shuffling back. Ju. Juich. Juni. Jisan. in, and os. So you can see from the basics of the very part of the lesson, we're making connections all the way through that kata, whether it be with the hip, hand position, thinking about our shoulders, thinking about our stance. So much to think about, so much to think about. Yeah, and then there are other factors that are part of where we are. So in my dojo, yeah, I have a huge light here. If I look at it, I get blinded, but it's great, okay, because obviously it illuminates the dojo a bit better, okay. Sometimes I have a dog running around my feet. When we're in the dojo, we have anything up to 50 other karateka screaming and shouting, okay, echoing in big sports halls, because they tend to be our normal dojos. So lots and lots of distractions, as well as yourselves. Me, I'm playing with a floor that's freezing cold, despite the house being warm, and sticking to the floor. So we have lots of different factors that affect how we do a kata. However, every time you do it, you try to make something better. So if you do it once and then do it again, in the second time you do it, you try to make it better in some way. And I believe in that philosophy, and that is if you can try and improve a little bit every single time, ultimately your kata will get better, 100%, and you'll become more confident. But that takes time. And I mean time, I mean possibly years. Possibly years. Some people I know do karate at a very young age, and they're naturally very good at kata. They pick that part of karate up really quickly. But they may not necessarily be good at kumite because they don't want to do kumite, or they're fearful of it. Who knows? So focus on yourself and focus on developing one thing at a time. And don't be too hard on yourself, okay? It's really important that you don't do that. Most people who give up karate, and I hate the word quit, is because they've given up on themselves. I can't do that. We don't have the word can't in dojo because it's not a word, okay? It doesn't exist. And that's not being rude or disrespectful to the word can't or cannot, okay? It just means you haven't worked out the way to do it correctly yet, but you will if you continue. Okay, you will learn 100% how to do that move or that kata, okay, or that kumite set if you just continue. So it's only the only restrictions in karate is your mind. Yeah, your mind says I can't do that, you won't do it. Simple, you'll quit, you'll move on, and there's another lost soul. Bless. Yeah, always breaks my heart when it happens, especially when I see talent, okay, which I often do. But some people don't realise their talent, and so therefore they disappear. They disappear into the ether. Some come back, and some don't. Okay, but you will improve. When I started karate, I was not very good. When I've been doing karate for 20 years, there were still lots of elements that were not very good. Now I've been doing karate 30 years. There are less elements that are not very good, but there are still many. So I'm not, by any stretch of the imagination, perfect. Okay, so it's really important that you understand that it's a journey and it's yours and yours alone, and we will help you get as far as you wish to go, and that is endless. Okay, endless, endless, endless. So hopefully that lesson was okay and you have enjoyed it if you've taken part this evening and you've worked some of your Easter eggs off. I've probably lost about 3 kilos in sweat alone, which is quite good. But that's not a bad thing because I've been freezing cold all day. So we'll continue on Thursday. So I look forward to hopefully seeing you all on Thursday and in the dojo here. As I said, moving forwards, the black belt sessions will continue at the moment on Saturday on Zoom. If you wish to join those, then please let me know. They are just for the black belts, but if you are attempting your black belt and you wish to attend, then if you message me, then what I'll do is I'll allow you to join because you're going to be hopefully a black belt soon. That's our intention. So please don't think if you're an intermediate downgrade that you can't come along because you can. So just need to let me know and then I can send you the details. As I said, next week, Tuesday, the 13th of April, the Clifton Dojo will reopen 5 to 6 p.m. I'm still waiting on the Potter Dojo to see if we can start there. If we can't, then I believe we may be able to start the Eco Hub, which is great. Okay. Wednesday, we will almost certainly 100% be at the Eco Hub, providing they allow us to start back, which I'm pretty confident they will. And then Thursday will be our new dojo, which is at the Sandy Village Hall. Again, these are just for juniors, I'm afraid. The adult lessons, I'm going to try and work out an evening that I can do an online session for yourselves or pre-record something and put it on YouTube so you can follow that in your own leisure. Not worked it all out yet. I'm going to wait till I get back to school and see what the lie of the land is there and how life is, etc. I think I'm going to need to do a bit of juggling. So there we go. Okay, we'll finish the lesson there. So Kyotsuke. Just straighten your knees and obies. Okay, we'll finish with the Dojo-kun. Dojo-kun. Hitotsu jinkan gokansei ni surumoto koto. Hitotsu makato no michi o momoru koto. Hitotsu doryoku no seishin yashinao koto. Hitotsu radio o monju o koto. Hitotsu keki no yo imashimoru koto. Right. Excellent. And finish, yummy. Great stuff. Thank you so much for joining me. Andy Sensei, happy birthday, young man. 51 is a great age, isn't it? Doesn't feel any different to when we were 25, other than all the pains and aches that we've got. But anyway, at least we've got our own hair. Oh, sorry, private joke. So we'll finish the lesson there. Thank you so much for joining me. See you Thursday at 7 p.m. here live on YouTube. Domo arigatou gozaimasu. Thanks so much, everybody. Thank you very much for your kind messages as well. Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Andy. Thanks, Ken. Thanks, Kevin. And I'll see you Thursday. Oisurusai arigatou gozaimasu. Ja, mata ne.